Hi, I'm David Adams. I'm your instructor for the Project Management course. We just finished 14 units of lecture on how to do project management. And we are now at the last part, which is icing on the cake. That is, looking at lessons learned, looking at the best practices, so if you do a similar project in the future, you'll be better. Come with me to learn about how to do lessons learned. In this lecture, we'll look at the recycle part of the close the project phase and examine lessons learned. With the lessons learned exercise, we'll gather the project team members and key stakeholders, we'll brainstorm the good, the bad, and the ugly, and we'll provide lessons learned as part of the formal documentation to carry forward to future similar projects. And of course, we'll end with best practices. A model for closing a project includes handoff, recycle, and celebrate. For handoff, you need to obtain acceptance and approval of the end result. You get a signature if possible and an email at a minimum. You'll evaluate expectations were met. You may create a survey to find out. And you'll nail down loose ends. You'll catch all project closeout items on the list. For the recycle portion, you'll capture lessons learned, and this can be done either informal or a formal approach. You'll recycle usable information. You may use an internet site post, emails, attend future meetings of future similar projects to help in further endeavors. And the last part for a model for closing a project is to bring closure. That is, communicate the achievements, maybe putting in a newsletter or a town meeting, celebrate, party, write down email thanks to all team members. Make sure they all understand that they did a great job. So you might be asking yourself, why even bother with a lessons learned exercise? Well, it provides insight to similar future projects. It allows you to adapt best practices. It helps you avoid unintended mistakes. And we will take the time to examine a lessons learned exercise example with the Bolt application project. So how do you go about completing a lessons learned exercise? Well, you need to first gather the team members and stakeholders, anyone who is involved with the project. Take the time to get together and brainstorm what was the good, the bad, and the ugly. That is, what worked well, what issues occurred, and what could you do to be better. And then, of course, complete the documentation. Future project managers who work on similar projects will appreciate the hard work you and your team did with a lessons learned exercise, for they will glean a lot of information. Let us now look at the Bolt Delivery app project, when the team was assembled to do a lessons learned exercise. They brainstormed 6 things that worked well, and of course, the good use of project management tools helped them tremendously. The communication to stakeholders for the entire project. Understanding who needs to do what. That is, they did that with the RACI chart. Having the customer final acceptance inspection. Having the project team work together, as well as having the outcome of the project where it actually worked. The team brainstormed the only issue that occurred was the poor communication with the third-party supplier during the market testing task. And for the build for the better, they said, we need to incorporate more frequent communication with third-party suppliers, as well as expand the risk assessment participation and schedule review at critical stages throughout the project. You can do a risk assessment several times, and it will help you with the outcome. With a model of closing a project, you'll take the time to do the proper handoff, recycle, and celebration. Take the time to complete the final customer acceptance checklist. Validate all tasks are completed. Create that final project report and perform that lessons learned exercise. And by all means, celebrate with the project team. As you can see from the Just Enough Project Management 4-phase model, we completed a lot of activities to initiate, plan, control, and close the project. Taking the time will ensure that you are successful with your project management. Take note of all the tools we used during the different phases. In the initiating the project, we created a project charter, that one-page document that explained to everyone what the project was about. With the plan the project phase, where we spent over 90% of our time, we worked on a lot of tools. We did the work breakdown structure, which helped us create the project task worksheet. We created a project schedule. We put together a communication plan with a standing agenda. We had a risk register, a quality plan. We looked at how to do procurement selection and had a statement of work in our procurement documentation and put together a RACI chart to define who does the activities. And with the control of the project phase, we scheduled periodic meetings where we monitor the project and reconcile the variances. And when the customer wanted changes, we use scope change control. And at the end of the project, to close the project, we did the proper steps. We created an acceptance checklist to make sure the customer understood all the deliverables. We validated all the tasks were completed. We did the final payments. We did a project final report and did a lessons learned exercise to take forward. And of course, we celebrated with the team our success. Project management is a best practice, and take note to do just enough project management. Until next time.